Oh
la la. Sex with Michele James. If you have the urge, you could just go ahead and rub one out. Hey. Welcome back. This is Sex with Michele James, but not like physically with me, but I think by now you guys get that. This is episode 4, and I have an exciting guest for you guys for this episode. I'm not going to go into much detail, but it's very interesting. You guys should definitely stay tuned for this one. Wow, though, episode 4, we've gotten pretty far with this. I'm enjoying it. I love doing this podcast. I hope you guys are enjoying everything so far. Please, I need to hear your feedback. Don't hesitate. I want to hear the good, the bad, the ugly. Please just let me have it. I want to know. If there's any suggestions you have for me to better the show, if you have any suggestions for guests you would like to see, topics you want me to talk about, please just anywhere, either the Pittsburgh Currents page, my page, whatever it is, please let us know the feedback. We want to know more. God, crazy. I mean, it this time of year, I mean, we're getting into Christmas now already. 2019's almost over. Where has the year gone? I've grown so much this year, and I feel like we're already getting ready to start another year. I'm really, really, really looking forward to where the future of this podcast goes in the future of my career, and bring on 2020, right? But before we get to 2020, let's get to readers' questions, my favorite part of every podcast. Question: let's be real. Is there money in being a porn star? In lieu of the interview with Mia Khalifa, it seems like adult actresses are being grossly underpaid. Well, my opinion on this subject, a lot of us performers in porn don't really associate with Mia Khalifa. She made her choices and has said some ignorant things about our industry, so we don't really claim her. But there is money in porn. The problem with Mia Khalifa was that she came in, shot her handful of mainstream movies and dipped. She didn't stay and indulge in all the money that is able to be made. So as far as actresses being underpaid, I don't think. I think there's more money to be made outside of mainstream. I make more money on my amateur content, the content I upload to my OnlyFans, my many vids, that type of thing, doing custom videos. If you, and I think I've touched on this before, if you put in the hard work and dedication, there is money to be made in porn. There's so many platforms, there's so many things you could do to make money. You're stupid if you're not banking off this industry. You're just not working hard enough if you're not banking. There's money to be made. Mia Khalifa came in and only shot mainstream. She didn't have an OnlyFans. She didn't do Snapchat. She didn't do custom videos. She didn't do all these other avenues that we're now using to make money outside of shooting mainstream. So that's her own fault. And she left at a time when her career was at peak. And I mean, she could come back tomorrow and be a fucking millionaire, guaranteed. But she acts like she's better than whoever else. She acts like she's just the greatest thing since sliced bread, and that's fine, girl. Do your thing, but quit using Mia Khalifa then as your crutch in life. If you don't want to be Mia Khalifa anymore and you don't want to associate with this industry, then stop using Mia Khalifa as your name when you're doing other things. Get over yourself. So yeah, that was her own fault. She came in, only shot mainstream, and she didn't monetize off her name, and she still is not doing it. If she wanted to, she could go get the trademark for that. And anytime they spread her name or her content to this day, which they still do, they use her to market things, and she could have been paying off that. She could take responsibility over her Pornhub account, and anything on there that she could monetize off of, she could, but she doesn't. So I don't think we're underpaid. I just think Mia Khalifa did it the wrong way. So that's that question. Moving on. What would you say separates you from other adult actresses? Sorry. A lot, actually. Because I'm unique. I think we're all unique, and no actress is the same as the next. Like, we might have similarities. Like, I might be white with dark hair, and there's other girls that are white with dark hair, and there's other girls with triple D's, and there's other girls with their nipples pierced and all these things. But like, my body physically is unique to me. Like, my boobs sag differently than other girls' boobs sag, and my nipples look different than other girls' nipples, and I perform different than other girls. And I think that's what sets me apart, and I think that's what sets everyone else apart. And I don't know the reason why I gained so much popularity. I don't know. I'm myself, and I think that helps a lot with me being different, because like I approach my fans differently, and I don't know. I handle the fame of porn differently. I feel like I try not to like get a big head about it. Like, I still like to stay grounded, and I like to get to know my fans and talk to my fans and be friendly and just like be myself. So I think that's really what sets me apart, is that I don't try to fit in. Like, I'm just me, and either they like it or they don't. So that's that's pretty much it. Like, I don't conform to anyone. Like, I do what I want to do, and no one tells me no. And if they do, then whatever, I'll find somewhere else to exist. So yeah, that's that. Someone had asked what I think of incest porn. Do I do it just because I enjoy it, or is it just a part of the job? Sometimes yes, when I show up to set and I have to be the stepsister again. It is part of the job. But I can kind of see the appeal to it. I guess if I had a hot stepdad, or I don't know, step siblings that were cute and we weren't related by blood, like I'd be down with it. Like, we're only related by marriage, so I'd be down to suck a dick that was marriage related to me. So like, I don't see the appeal in porn. Like, they're obviously not really my step siblings, and they're not really my dad or like my stepdad or like any of this stuff. So like, yeah, that part of it's just part of the job. I mean, porn in general, like, porn is porn. Like, I don't know. It's hard. It's like, it's scripted most of the time, and I hate. Someone's gonna cry about this later, I'm sure. That's, oh, porn's not real. You didn't really bang your stepbrother. Like, cry about it. But like, it's scripted. So like, most of the time, I'm just like, my mindset is showing up and performing. Like, I don't care what the scenario is. I don't care if I'm playing a college kid. I don't care if I'm playing the stepsister. Like, that's what porn is. Like, it's a job, and you go and you perform, and that's why we're called actresses. You have to go and act the part that they give you for your script for the day. So yeah, a lot of it is just because of the job. But like I said, I'd probably be down for incest porn. Moving on. I get this one a lot, and I love this one. It says, do you watch your own porn? Yes. Inevitably, if you think about it. I'm there when it happens. I see it happening live. It's my body, so I watch that aspect of it. And then if I'm shooting my own content, I'm the one that has to sit down at the end of the day and go through everything I just shot and pick out everything. Like, okay, we have to cut this part out because I was doing this, or we stopped to get water, so I have to cut this out. So like, daily I'm watching my own porn by fault, because I have to create my own product because no one does this work for me. I do everything on my own. So I have to watch my own porn to work. I mean, to get things done, to have my product out there. But if I'm feeling myself physically and theoretically, and I go to Pornhub, I don't specifically like search myself and say like, I'm gonna like beat off to me fucking this guy. I don't know. Not really. Cause like my porn taste is weird. Like, I watch gay porn. Like, when I'm masturbating, I watch gay porn. I know a lot of you were probably like, what? Like, yeah, gay porn and like fisting and deep throat. Like, I watch all that stuff, but it's never like my own. because I've never gotten fisted or I don't do gay porn. So obviously, but like, I don't rub myself to my own porn. I would, because there are some scenes that I'd go back and look at and I'm like, God, like that was a really fucking hot scene. But for the most part, if I'm masturbating, it would be to the thought or like the experience. Like I would think about like the time that I had a really good sexual experience with someone and use my imagination to get myself off, compared to like physically watching myself in a porn to get off. So it's more fantasy than it is like me physically watching my own porn. So yeah, but okay. And for our last question, it's so funny. Someone asks, what happened to your Snapchat? Well, rest in peace to that. I'm really freaking sad about it. So what had happened was I had come home from traveling in LA and Miami and all those things. And I came home and kind of was taking a break from working a lot, because it takes a toll. Like when you go to like shooting mainstream, like it's hard on your body, like taking a new dick every day. And I could go into like so much more detail about like the physically demanding parts of the job, but like there's burnout and you get exhausted. And I'd come home and I wasn't posting on my premium Snap as much because I was trying to take a break and heal myself and not have to work every day. And I'm sure there were some fans who weren't exactly excited about me not posting every day, and they had their little bitch fits for whatever reason they did, and they reported my Snap. And when I sell my Snapchat through Fan Centro, I think there might be like a button on there to like report like the model's account not working, or like something on there, like to troubleshoot it that way. But they reported me directly to Snapchat itself, like the app, like reported my account for whatever they reported it for. And Snapchat started reviewing it and they started taking down my stories. And I kept getting the warning that was like, hey, you violated a terms of service. Like, please take the time to review it and please don't do this again. You have to like click understand. Well, that had happened 3 times. And I went to log into my premium Snap and it told me that my account was terminated. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, here we go. I'm done with that. Like, they terminated my account, whatever. So me not knowing, I couldn't get into that account. So I tried to log into my public Snapchat account, my Missy Jam Snapchat. And I didn't realize that when Snapchat banned my premium, like deleted that account, that they put an IP ban for me for logging into Snapchat. So by design, with me trying to log into my public Snapchat under the same IP address that I just tried to use to get into my premium, which was deleted, it locked my public Snapchat account. And I was like, what the hell? Like, why is my account locked? And I tried to file to have it unlocked, and I realized that they had put an IP ban on my phone on the Snapchat. And I was like, oh, like that ain't nothing. Like, I can just use a VPN and make a new account. So I did. I downloaded the VPN on my phone and I made a new account and everything's hunky dory. Well, I forgot to turn the VPN on the new account that I had made, and they found out and they banned me again. So for a third Snapchat account that they banned of mine, they got sick of my shit and they put a ban. And I don't know how they physically do this, but they put a ban on the phone that I was using, like the physical phone. And I could download the app, but under no circumstances would I ever be allowed to use Snapchat to either create an account, to log into one. Like, I was banned. And I'm like, oh, damn. And like, I even tried to log into like my personal Snapchat, like my like friends and family Snapchat, and it was still banned. Like, I lost all like 12 of my Snapchat accounts trying to fucking provide content for people. So what had evolved from that was I have officially decided to terminate all premium Snapchat because I'm not going through all of that again. I had to go to Verizon, and even though nothing was wrong with my old phone besides that I couldn't use Snapchat, I had to go to Verizon and buy a whole new iPhone to be able to use Snapchat. So I have one now. It is a Pale Snipe. that I've been using, but it is safe for work. I don't violate the terms of service anymore. It's more just an entertainment for me because I like I said, I do enjoy like connecting with my fans. I do like getting to know them. I like them getting to see the parts of me that you don't see when I'm getting fucked on camera. So yeah, if you'd like to add my new Snapchat, even though it is safe for work, please feel free to do so. Pale, Pale, Snipe, Snipe. So that's the story about how Snapchat banned me, but here I am prevailing. All right. That is all that I have for readers' questions. Up next, we have Amy Vodka House, who's our dominatrix and our guest for this episode. So stay tuned.
You're in the middle of Sex with Michele James on the Pittsburgh Current Podcast Network.
Hello. Welcome back, Sex with Michele James. And we have a guest today.
Hello, y'all.
This is
doing?
Amy.
How you doing, Michelle?
Amy, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Amy Vodka House. I'm the transvestite dominatrix in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. AmyVodkaHouse.com.
Oh my God, I love it.
We met one time briefly at a party.
Yeah, we had a
I was
Pittsburgh
delighted.
Current birthday party.
Because every time I go to any kind of social setting where it's like straight-laced people or just people I don't know, like some guys will hit on me like, well, I'm a pharmacist. What do you do? Well, well.
Pharmacist.
So I was really delighted. Like, oh my God, I'm not the only sex worker here. This is amazing.
Yeah, it's always great to market where you live because like I struggle with the same thing. Like it's hard to find friends or people to relate to or hang out with because like doing sex work, I already have the stigma around me that I do sex work. So it's like hard to find friends. So when you have someone who also does sex work, it's great because you don't feel so alone in this freaking world.
Yeah, they either think you're just horny all the time and you'll fuck them.
Yeah,
or they
like you're going to fuck my husband or you're going to like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, or they're into
think.
Kink and they feel like they'll get a free session out of me.
Yeah, that too. Isn't that the worst? Like when people like try to use you for things. Because like I've had friends that are not friends anymore that have tried to like use me and like my platform for like their own stuff. They're like, oh, like can you shout me out on your Twitter, like get me some followers? How about you do your own work and get your own followers? Like I built my own platform. So yeah, it's super annoying. But dominatrix, tell me more about it because I only have done like mainstream work. Like I've never done like I don't do like hardcore fetish stuff. Like I'm getting into fetish, but I don't do anything extreme. So I want to hear more about it.
It's fun. I actually really enjoy it. And there are no two clients that are alike. Everybody's different. Everybody's in it for different reasons. Some people, ideally, I would like to do just like clean, bondage, discipline.
So bondage and discipline is your...
but that's not like, no, I actually specialize in feminization where I make men over and make them into my sissy sluts.
Oh my God.
I know.
I love that.
Yes, then I take them to a swingers club and just sit in a
I'm going to
chair.
bring some men over that I need you to like work out for me.
Then I just sit with a crop in a chair and make them suck all the cocks through a glory hole.
Oh my God. Speaking of glory hole and sucking all the cocks, how do I do that?
Just come on out with me, girl. Body Shop. It's my favorite.
The Body Shop.
Have you been there?
No, I've not.
Why don't you go there?
I literally need to go.
There's another girl. What's her name? Ashton Blake? Is that her name?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, she's an actress too. She actually performs at the Body Shop. Like she'll work in one room, do her little webcam show. So it's like partying with a porn star. Then we get to hang out with her. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Bethany was telling me about the Body Shop. I really need to go. Like what all, and like I've heard so many stories, but like what actually goes down at the Body Shop?
Depends on a theme. They have different themes. Some are more popular than the other. For some reason, a slutty schoolgirl is the wildly popular one.
Oh, of course. Yeah, the most overused role play ever.
Yes. And then they have a lot of BDSM events, which is usually when I go. And a lot of times I get hired on the spot to do a session with people. Like
so like you can go and then you can get hired for sessions when you're there and they give you like space and...
Oh, yeah. Well, basically you're a member, so with membership and paying a door fee, you can use any room you want. So
okay.
Like nobody really knows what the hell you're doing there once your door is closed.
Yeah.
So like I've had sessions there. I actually just did 3 this Saturday.
Oh my God. I'm so intrigued. Like I want,
it's
like,
fun. It's great. It's like, well, it's when you tell people like I go out to a sex club, they're like, oh, just people fucking around. It's actually not. It's like a social club. There's a big ass dance floor, DJ, bars, seating area. It's just people hanging out, and nobody's judgy, and especially swingers. They're like secure in their relationships. They've been out forever,
course,
so
yeah.
they don't give a shit. Anything goes. It's fun. And then there's a big group sex room you can join. You can just watch.
And is there a lot of people like from this area that go? Like, is there?
This area, and a lot of people drive in from all over the place. Yeah, because especially if they're concerned about their coworkers. Like I know people from Pittsburgh that are into kink that do not go locally. They'll go out of
See, and
town.
that, I mean, this goes back to the stigma that we're always talking about. Like, there's people obviously out there doing this, and they, you know what I mean? Like, they're consuming sex work, but they have to hide themselves from enjoying what they want to enjoy because of the stigma around sex work.
They're concerned depends especially what they're into. They don't want anybody to find out, especially people who come and see me, the guys who secretly cross-dress.
Oh, of course. And those are the worst types of people too, I feel like sometimes.
Yeah, but these are the people you would never suspect are into something like this.
Yep. I've heard crazy stories. I know girls who escort, and I would not believe the names of men that I've heard that they've slept with, and I'm like, no, not him, like that guy. And they're like, yeah, like I sleep with him all the time, and I'm like, oh my god, like you don't think that these like men in like these positions of power, and it's a lot of like politicians too that like hire sex workers constantly, but they're like the ones you never suspect to like.
Well, for one, there's that immediate like trust. They have to. I mean, they're paying you for service, so they know that you're not gonna go blab to other people because it's your income too, and that shit spreads like a wildfire if you fuck somebody over. So you keep that to yourself, and also like I get tested every 3 months, so they know they're not getting shit from me. So.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's so cool. I'm so fascinated with sex
and those
work.
same men your friend meets, like you'd be surprised how many of them just want to get fucked in the ass.
Oh my god, that is such a thing. Like men don't like. I hate that. Like I'll be like having sex with a guy, and I'll be like go to like stick my finger in his ass, and like the immediate reaction is friend to be like, oh what the fuck, stop, it's gay, don't do that, don't touch my ass. And then like a week or 3 weeks go by, and then you like slip it in, and they're like okay with it, and you're like, yeah, I fucking knew it. Like you want me to fucking peg you too, don't you? Like I would fucking love doing that to men, because like they don't realize like your G-spot's in your ass. Like your G-spot's in your ass. Like why try to deny it? Why try to act like it's some taboo thing? Like just lay back and enjoy it. Like my biggest thing is like when people realize the only thing that makes you gay is liking men, you would enjoy life so much more. Like there's guys who like miss out on their own sexual pleasure because they think that it's gay to like have a woman touch their ass when it's not. Like it doesn't make you gay. Like me wanting to like finger your ass or like fuck your ass. Like if it feels good, accept it. Like it's not. I don't
just have a good time.
Yeah, like just like let loose. And I that's reason why we're doing this podcast is like sex positivity. It's okay to like the things that you like fetishes are okay. Like we need to normalize it. Like I have a pee fetish, and everyone, like I tell people that, and they're like, ew, like what do you mean? And it's like, why be shamed for it? If it's something you like, just do it. As long as it's legal and safe, then what's the issue? You know what I mean?
I run into that, like, especially if I'm at the body shop and hook up with guys on the nights that I just go out for fun. And, like, I'll go in a room with a really hot guy, and then they think they're going to fuck me, and it's like, no, this is not how it works.
Yeah.
And then I fuck them, and after that, they're like, well, don't tell anybody. Like, people are so judgy. Bitch, you're in a fucking sex club.
Yeah,
Who
exactly.
gives a shit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the only people that are going to see them there are people who are doing the same thing anyway, so they don't, like, there's not going to be any judgment.
Right.
But it's like their own insecurities flaking out in front of everyone.
Like
wow.
even being on what I call horror apps, like gay, Grindr, Scruff, Dudes Nude, whatever I'm on. Like I'm just out there to hook up, and then my friends are like, "Oh, girl, people will know you're on there." Yeah, those people are on there for the same exact reason.
Yes. And
or
that's like the biggest thing with sex work. Like everyone's like, oh, like you do porn, like you're on Pornhub. Well, how would you know if you weren't looking it up and like favoriting my videos and beating your fucking dicks to me?
Same.
Then you know what I mean? Like if you obviously are watching it to find out that I even did it. So Let's have that conversation, sis. Like, where's the tea?
Last night I went to Berlin Band's concert with Ingrid, Madam Ingrid, and Dana Crush. Both of them are pro doms too. So as soon as we walk in, we look like we're from a different planet because we're in a full latex. You know,
I love it though.
And
You look
this
so
one
hot.
lady is like, "Oh, I know you from somewhere." Like Pornhub, Arrows.com. Like, where were you, girl?
What website do you recognize me from? That's amazing.
That's where you would see
I
us.
run into that a lot though, because like I'll be like out in public or like I'll run into someone that'll be like, I know you from somewhere, and then like you don't know how to immediately react. Should I be like, oh, like is it because you know me from porn, or is it because you know me from like back in grade school? You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, I hate that. Like when people come up to me like, you look really familiar, and I'm like, oh God. It's either you've beaten your dick to me or that you like saw me like 6 years ago when I was in my ugly stage. Like, which one is it? Just like get it all out on the table now because I'm like super stressed out about it.
How do you get away with traveling, being recognized at the airport and stuff like that?
I don't actually really have an issue with that. I've never, besides like being around this area, obviously like I grew up here, so like the people that I know and that I grew up with know that I do porn, so they obviously recognize me. But as far as like a random stranger recognizes me, like I've never had a problem with it. Like they may have like recognized me or like seen me out and they've never approached me, but like I've never had a problem with like being in an airport and someone coming up to me. Like if they've noticed me, they've never said anything. But I don't know, because I have a lot of people also tell me that I look a lot different in person than I do online. So that, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. And I don't always look the same. I mean, the makeup they put on me for pornos is not the same makeup. Like this is how I do my face constantly. Like I don't wear foundation. Like I don't. And then like you see me in porn and I have these huge eyelashes and all this makeup on my face and all this contour. And it's like, it's not the same person. So I guess that helps with like the anonymity of it. So
I always wanted to do porn makeup.
Oh
Pittsburgh
my God,
is really
you
not a market for
should.
it.
I will let you be my hair and makeup artist, girl. I will pay
Awesome.
you. Yes.
But I was more concerned, like, have you heard of a recent sting operation government was doing on sex workers? Like, girls were getting arrested at the airport. They would confiscate your phone.
I did not. Please tell me more, because I did not hear about this.
Well, there's a lady in Pittsburgh, Irene Boss. I don't know if you heard of her. She's been around for like over 20 years doing professional domination stuff, and she has like over 200 videos. And every time this stuff goes down once a year, she messages all of us. And there were girls whose phones were taken and that's like when she travels, she has a dungeon here in Pittsburgh. She works in DC and she has one in Orange County. So like, what do? You wipe your phone basically when you go. And my thing, I wasn't really too concerned. Like I was just in Miami. And let me tell you, like posting an Arrows.
Where, did you go to Exotica?
No, I was working at the transgender conference.
Okay.
Because
I was literally just in Miami like last week. Yeah, for the.
I was in Fort Lauderdale, and there's a club called Hedonism.
Oh, is that the same one that owns the resorts in Jamaica too, like the nude resorts?
Possibly.
I think it's called
I'm not sure. I was there
Hedoism.
just for a night, but I was working there for like a week, and I had to add up in Miami on Arrows. My God, talk about not being a unicorn anymore. 'Cause there's so many there. Yeah, it's so cheap to have a monthly ad in Pittsburgh, but over there it's so expensive for just 2 weeks, and you're not the only one. And then I had some creep show up at the hotel because he figured out where I was staying. Girl, it was scary.
Oh my God.
But traveling,
see, like this is like everyone listening to this right now, like stop being that person. Stop being creepy. Like stop. Like it's okay to like approach someone, but like stalking and showing up at your hotel when they find, like, stop doing that. Like I literally yesterday I was at the gas station pumping gas and I'm like just sitting there like minding my own business, like looking at the freaking dollars drain out of my bank account, and I look over and this guy is just staring at me literally like this.
Like, what are they think?
And I like looked over and I was like, oh, like maybe it was just like a coincidence, and I like put my head down and then I like did like the whole double take, and he was still staring at me like, why?
Like, what do they expect
Like,
that's going to come out
just
of that?
if you have a question or something, like come over and be like, oh, like was there something on my face? Like, hey ma'am, like your tire's flat, or hey ma'am, like your hair's falling out of your head. Like, why just stare at me?
Like, do they think
creeps
it's
me
flattering?
out.
Do they think they have a chance? Like, what is that? Is that being brave or stupid?
And then I don't know,
just
like,
fucking
does he
stupid?
recognize me? Is he like sitting there having like some sexual fantasy in his head while he stares at me? Like, Don't do that. Don't do that. Because I'm like the most open-minded person. Like, I love talking to people. I love to make friends. But like, when you put me in that situation where you make me uncomfortable by staring at me or following me or doing creepy shit, I'm not going to want a relationship with you after that when you approach me like that and put me in such an uncomfortable position.
But that's the problem. They don't see us as persons.
Oh,
They
of
don't see
course
us
not.
People.
Of course
we're
not.
fetishized. We're like their secrets, special interest. They
Yeah.
don't see us as a person. You basically to them exist just to fulfill their fantasy.
Absolutely. And that needs to change.
I had this fucking guy who would follow me everywhere. Like he was following me on all the social media, whatever I'm on. So he always knew where I was at. He would show up at bars. He would show up at different conferences in different cities. Eventually, I had to pull a gun on him. Like I kept blocking him on everything. Like, and he kept like asking me out or wanted to hang out. Like.
And we don't like, and that's the scary thing. Like, you don't know these people's intentions. And this is why a lot of the time I'm always speaking about, like, being a porn star, like, I am creating a fantasy for these guys and I want to be like this, like, doll on a pedestal type thing, like, oh, like, worship me type thing. But, like, if I don't show my fans and men who, like, consume porn that I'm a human, I feel like it puts me in a weird situation because if they don't understand that I'm human, I feel like I can be put in danger because they feel like they can. Because I've had this happen to me at conventions. Men just come up to me and they assume like, oh, well, you got on the bang bus that one time and he was allowed to grab your boobs, so I'm entitled to come up and grab your boobs. Like there's consent involved, and that's like a big thing. I think when all they do is consume porn and not realize that we're people, that they forget that.
And they just don't understand, like, that's work. Like, when it's on, it's on. When it's off, like, I'm not fucking working right now.
Yeah.
You're not a part of this whole...
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, I'm working now, like, being on the podcast. But, like, if I walked out of this building right now and some guy just walked up and smacked my ass, like, what part of that tells you it's okay just because I do porn? Like, that's not consent. And, like, I have to remind people, like, porn, like, sex work doesn't equal consent. Like, just because I do it on camera doesn't mean you can do it to me. Like I've slept with people in my personal life and they'd be like, oh, well, you let that guy choke you out on the camera. Okay, that was that day and I consented for him to do that for that scene. I'm not consenting to you now to choke me out. Just because you saw it happen on video doesn't give you the consent to do it to me now. Like, you still have to have that consent before you do things. It's so scary.
Yeah, but then it all goes down to, like, stupid people will do stupid things.
Absolutely.
So somebody that fucking stupid to do something like that, like, what can you expect out of them? I don't leave my fucking house without a gun.
I don't blame you. Yeah, I don't blame you. Because, like,
I'm
I feel the need to protect myself too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Insane. But I see that you have brought a bag with you, and I've like been staring at it this whole time. I'm like, what is in that fucking bag? I need to see it. I need to know what's in it. Okay, so it's your essentials. Let's hear it.
All right, so this is usually what we start off with, a light flogger. This one doesn't hurt too bad, you know, to warm them up. There's a guy in Pittsburgh, Maximus Leather. He makes those.
So these, like, you bought this locally?
I bought this locally.
I like
those
these
BDSM events.
I love being like a kinky little slut sometimes. Like, I love being
it's fun.
Spanked and all these things. I like this one, yes. That would be a keeper.
Yeah, this one is a bit heavier. It's a different type of leather, so this one will sting more. And you can throw them and, like, you can swing them. There are certain areas you can hit, like buttocks, up here. You don't hit spine, you don't hit kidneys, so you just kind of practice your aim with it as you
And
work.
this is a clear, what do they call it, like a, I don't know, PSA, I guess, with BDSM. Just because you see it happen on camera too, like if you watch BDSM porn, you have to be very, very careful with BDSM, because there's been times where I've been shooting scenes with producers who claim that they're BDSM producers, and they tie me up and my hands are going numb.
Oh,
and
yeah, that's really
like
bad.
You have, like, please do not experiment with these type of BDSM toys if you're not experienced, because you can do damage. So, like, just, you know, clear warning for everyone listening or watching.
EMT scissors with
Absolutely, trauma shears. Yeah, like,
because you can have permanent nerve damage.
Absolutely, yep.
Like, if you can start feeling purple.
Yeah, I know girls
looking
in
purple
girls
or-
in porn now that like if they get tied up, like they can only be tied up for like a couple minutes before their hands start going numb because they've had permanent nerve damage from being tied up so much. So like, just please be very careful if you're ever going to experiment with BDSM and you're listening. Just be safe and do it the right way, please.
Like, I'm not the best person with ropes. Obviously, I do it
That's
for
why
work.
I
It's
don't
just
do
like,
rope play because
I do a lot, but it's just like one part of what I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I always start like chest harness, basic chest harness,
Yep.
but I never start with hands first.
Yep.
I always do the hands last so I
Yep.
can release them
Yep.
if needed.
Hands last, hands first. Yeah.
And suspensions, like, you basically want to make sure nothing tightens when you pull.
Okay.
Also, and, you know, if I suspend them off a chest harness and like hip basket, or what would you call it? Whatever you do, I just suspend them from a lot of things that it pulls the body weight in different spots.
Right.
All right, this one is called a dragon's tail. It kind of looks like a dragon tail.
I've never in my entire life have I seen this.
Really? It's like a riding crop. They're all basically crops and whips for
Okay.
dogs or horses or some kind of domestic animal.
I like it.
Yes,
I like
but
being spanked. Stop
this
looking
is
at me
the
funny.
painful version of it, girl. This one is called a devil's tongue. And this one will feel like it's splitting your skin in half.
Oh, really?
That one, it
and,
looks so innocent.
and people let you use this on them.
Yeah, but just lightly like this. But if you, like, do this, girl, it hurts.
I'm not gonna do it hard, but wow.
Yeah, that one really feels
I've
like
never
it's
like
splitting skin.
because in porn like they give you like this version of things. Like unless it's like kink, then they do like the extreme stuff. But like generally, like if you see like BDSM in porn, like they give you the light ones like this to where you can't hurt someone. Like I've never been on a porn site where they've pulled out either of these things that can actually like probably cause damage.
Yeah, this one is really bad.
I love it.
For warm-up.
It's like a lethal
Canes.
weapon.
Canes hurt the worst. Have you seen these before, bamboo? Canes?
Yeah, kink actually had those.
Yes, these will leave marks.
I'm okay with it. Here's me being
Yeah,
gross.
that's probably the less painful version of a cane, just a riding crop.
Okay.
And then you have different slappers. You start them off with something lighter.
Like, yeah, like
Everybody
regular
has
paddle.
different. Like, I love me a good pain slut, but different people can take different amount of pain, and some are just not into this. Some are just into bondage. Some people just want things in their butt. Like, everybody's different.
Hey, no
You know,
judgment
just
here.
a regular day in the office.
Literally no judgment here. That's great. I like
Now,
this
this
one.
is a painful version of that, girl. I'm talking solid rubber. I just used this on a girl on Saturday. It was her birthday.
Oh my god, this is like solid fucking rubber. Like
That's
zoom in on this.
heavy.
Like it's actual. Wow.
Oh, just a little something.
Oh, she said a little something. This ain't a little nothing.
I get excited every time somebody comes over who can actually take it. It doesn't happen often.
Cause like I'm not even putting much weight behind it, but like hitting my hand, like there's
Yeah.
force behind that.
It
Holy
means
crap.
business.
Wow.
And then, of course,
I need you to use all of these on me.
Sure. Would you like to book a session? Would you like my card? Kidding. No, girl, just come on
Yes,
over. I
leave
have
your
a
card.
No, I have an awesome place. Come on over anytime.
Yes, let's do it.
So they're whips. I'm sure you've seen whips, but a lot of times I don't do out calls. That's one way I stay safe.
Absolutely.
Like book an appointment with me. I'll make you jump through all the hoops. And generally, people that have seen a professional dominant before, they know the drill. They know what to expect in a fucking session. They don't.
I would literally love just to come and sit in on one. Like if you had clients that
Yeah,
were like
I'm
okay with
sure
me like viewing
many
it,
would
like I would
mind,
love to like
right.
see a live session because like I don't have the personality. I don't think I could ever like do what you do because I don't.
I think a lot of that is misrepresented in movies when you see.
Oh,
I'm not
yeah.
talking about porn where that's involved, but in movies it's misrepresented. Because I'm very casual with everybody who comes in. Especially people are often nervous, they're scared or embarrassed to tell you what the fuck they want. So I'm very casual, unless we agreed on a specific role play, so then I stay in a character, but that's very rare. So I don't do out calls with people who are my first time clients, but if I met them a few times, I know they're okay, sure, I'll meet them in a hotel or whatever, their place. So if I'm working in hotel rooms or in my place where I don't have enough space, which is not like an arena, then this is a substitute for a single tail whip. It's the same sensation, but this is Mexican quirt. It's a shorter version of a whip.
Okay.
So this part is stiffer and then it launches. So you can be pretty well.
I just like
You don't
I have
need to target
no.
practice much with that. And, of
I've
course,
never seen such cool things in my whole life. Oh.
and a regular one, yeah. But you need a lot of space for these. I don't know if I can do it back here. There's a lot going on, but yeah.
I love that.
You need more space.
Does that
for
like
these
it?
ones.
Is that painful though?
It can be, really can be, of course. Depends how you hit them, how hard, and where. With these, you want to make sure it doesn't wrap like around their body and it hits them where it's not supposed
Oh
to.
yeah.
So first, I always like measure kind of distance, how far I am from them, and then start slowly and see how much they can take.
And how long have you been doing this for?
How long I've been doing this? Oh my, well, let's see. I've been doing makeup on cross-dressers for over 10 years.
Wow.
And then eventually, what happened was I didn't realize I was doing that I was doing fetish work. I just didn't know anybody who did it.
Yeah.
Because often photo shoots would turn into me putting them into bondage or some kind of BDSM scene. And then I got hired to cross-dress a guy. It was his anniversary and his wife's. And she's a professional dominatrix. I'm best friends with him now. But yeah, I was like, oh my God, I like charge $50 for this. And you, instead of like $3.50 an hour, like, fuck, I was doing it all wrong. So pro dom, it's been like a few years now, I think.
Mm-hmm. So is it taking you a while to like get used to using all of these? Like, how did you?
Of course. Well, some things I already had, of course.
Secret touch.
So that helped. And just, I already, like, there are different things that go into being successful at this. Like, I'm not like most famous, like I'm well known, but I can tell you it's important how you look, of course, because that's what people will be drawn to. You have to be very intuitive. To like, you have to be able to read people because sometimes they won't tell you what they want, or they're embarrassed about it. So you kind of have to read them and know how much they can take, and you like have to predict if they're gonna be a fucking lunatic, if they're gonna be a nut job.
Yeah.
So there's that. You have to be very intuitive, people person, friendly, and just good with people. You have to have a certain look about you, ideally not looking like anybody else, like.
Stand out from the rest.
And you have to have something that's very specific about you, like your own magic. Like some girls are very good at, like there are different things like you can do. Like there are girls that I know that are older ladies who only do what's called domestic disciplinarian. So they basically just spank guys. Okay. Yeah, like my specialty is feminization, sissification, and sissy slut training.
Okay.
So
how did you know that like that's what you wanted to get into, or did you just like do you teach yourself that, or did you always know like that's what you wanted to do?
In my 20s, so by doing drag, what happened is I got good at makeup, and then I started bartending dressed up too, and cross-dressers would come up to me and ask me to do their makeup. So that was always my side job. It was always a side gig of mine, and then in recent years, it's the only thing I do. And people who came to see me just to be cross-dressed, they came to see me for different reasons. Some of them were transgendered secretly, but couldn't come out to their family. Like they would come. I basically create safe space for them, which to escape from reality.
Absolutely.
So I started emptyfantasy.com that way. So that was just like strictly cross-dressing makeover studio. And then I later realized, like, well, I'm doing all this fucking fetish work. Like, bitch, call it what it is and charge what it costs.
No, absolutely. Because that's like that. I ran into that when I first started. Like, I was doing like premium Snap and all that stuff, and I was giving it away for like $10. And then like I started comparing rates, and everyone was like, why do you like not charge like what you should be charging? And then I realized like what I could be charging, and I'm like, bitch, like you could have been monetizing so much more this entire time. Like I've missed out on so much money in my career because a bitch is lazy. I'm telling you. Like if I actually put my full potential into some of the things, like oh my god, I'd be a millionaire by now. I really would. Because like if I actually worked every single day and like pushed content every single day, I know I'd be in like the top contenders. Like I see girls literally like Lana Rhodes. She's a porn star, but she does Snapchat. That girl, I'm telling you, if she doesn't make at least 6 figures every couple months off her Snapchat, like I'd be surprised. Like she is such a hard worker. Every day I look on her Twitter and she's constantly posting content. I'm like, that girl, amazing. Damn. Here's me being lazy and rather like sit on the couch like eating French fries and like crying about my life and being poor, but it's fine.
Yeah, so it's, being on social media, being active, putting content out that people like and recognize and come back to see and share, that's very important too. So I'm on Fat Life. I get a lot of business on Fat Life, obviously.
I heard a lot of good stuff about Fat Life. I've
Oh yeah, it's
never
awesome.
myself
And
been on it, but
it's like Facebook. It's same setup. It looks
really?
like Facebook. Yeah, it's like pervert Facebook.
Okay, but
So
it's
you
like
know all
it's
the events that happen locally on there.
okay.
I had friends talk to people and they see what you do. That's how I get clients. A lot of people through Fat Life. And of course, I post on eros.com. It started back in the day when Craigslist had personals, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
would post under T for T, like trans for trans, or M for trans, male for trans, so these girls would know where to find me. Like, these girls were able to find me that I do these makeovers, so I used to get a lot of work that way. And now I just travel different conferences throughout the year, teach makeup and work as a vendor at transgender conferences. I was just at one in Fort Lauderdale, before that Boston. And I used to be very secretive about doing fetish work because I didn't want to scare them. And come to find out, like, especially just one in Florida, like the keynote speaker was a sex worker, and sex work in trans community is very common because where else do you go get a fucking job
Yeah.
looking the way we do? And it's what girls turn to. It's a good money, and it's like your independence, how you
Good.
depend
Use
on
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Use what you fucking got. Like that's all I tell people. They're like, well, how do you do sex work? And like, people don't realize like anyone can do this job.
Right.
Like if you put your heart to something and you do what it takes to get to where I am or where you are, like it's achievable. Like don't think like, oh well, I don't have triple D, so I can't do porn. That's like not true.
No,
like there's
right.
room for everyone in sex work. Like there's room for absolutely everyone, and that's what I love about this industry. Like we're so inclusive to everyone. Like we don't push anyone out. Like oh, I love it.
That's
it makes me like
true.
feel so wholesome on the inside because
Yeah,
like
you just
I
can't be
meet so
lazy
many
about it. You have
amazing
to be
people.
consistent.
Yeah, consistency is key.
Yeah, because a lot of girls get into this thinking like, oh, I'm just going to make real quick money, bitch. No, you're not.
And
You
I mean,
have-
and what you do is like
Yeah.
a full commitment. Like
It takes
me doing
forever.
like just like regular like boy girl porn. It's like, yeah, like it doesn't take that much talent. Like obviously you have to be good at what you do and you have to put out a good product and you have to know how to perform. But like what you do, that takes a lot more skills and talent than what it takes for me to do what I need to do. Yeah, but I mean, you have to worry about like their safety, what they want. Like you're considering all things considered to give them what they want because your main thing is focusing on their pleasure or their whatever they're trying to fulfill. Like me, it's just as long as he comes when he's asked to come on my face, inside me, whatever, we're done. Like it's nice to focus on his pleasure and like him getting me off, but it's not like the main thing. Like you have to focus on that, like giving them what they came to see you for. So I think you require more skill personally than
well, in a way, yes, because it takes me like 2 or 3 hours to put myself together before I even come to a session because I have to like set up the studio, then I have to shave my whole body and do my makeup and
that's a lot.
put this whole thing together. Yeah, it's a lot. So I charge them like upfront because
absolutely.
sometimes people will pussy out. Like a
Of
lot of times
course.
they'll like jerk off just talking to me. So I learned that real fast.
That's
So I took
the
my
time
phone number
wasters.
down.
It's the time wasters.
Oh yeah, I know wanker when one messages me, trust me, because if they're like really pervy in an email, they're just fucking jerking off. They're not gonna come and see you. People who have seen pro doms, they send you a deposit. They give you all their personal information because they know I want them to know that I know who they are, that I background check them. So if they have a problem with that, if they don't want to send me electronic deposit, fuck off, go see somebody else. And I know girls. I just met this one, Mistress Alessia. She's from Pittsburgh. She's very young. And we knew each other from online, but we finally met each other in person. And I was talking to her about it. She doesn't take deposits and just has these guys come over her place. Like,
Absolutely
bitch, that's
not.
how girls get murdered.
Yep.
Like, you're insane.
Yep.
Like, it's not worth it.
And safety is like the number one thing. Like it's
Sometimes
all
girls get
things considered.
desperate and they'll take a sketchy appointment. No.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, but you still have to like enjoy it and be okay with what you do. And I don't know. I'm glad I got into it now, because if I did when I was younger, I would probably get into so much trouble. Just
Oh
being
my
dumb.
gosh, I know.
Yeah, so it all came around when it's supposed to, I guess.
Well, tell us more about like your social media. Like, where can we find you? Where do you have websites? I mean, we want to know.
My cross-dressing makeovers are m2fantasy.com. My pro dom is amyvodkahouse.com. But you can find my ad on Eros. I'm on Twitter as Amy Vodka, I think.
I think.
Yeah, I'm M2 Fantasy, M number 2 Fantasy on Instagram. I think I'm Vodka House on Fat Life and Facebook. Yeah, Facebook is bad for business because they make you pay
Facebook's
for,
fucking awful for anything. Facebook is the
Yes.
literal worst.
Yes.
And they have like a real bad history of like outing sex workers, so I don't support Facebook.
I got banned from most of them. Like
I got banned from Snapchat, so I feel
really?
your pain. Yeah, they banned all my accounts, and I had to buy a whole new phone. Like I had to buy a physical new phone. My old one worked perfectly fine, but they banned my actual phone. Like they banned my IP address, and then I used a VPN, and then they found out I was using the VPN, so they blocked my phone. So I had to go buy a whole new phone to use Snapchat.
I even got banned from Seeking Arrangement. Can you believe that?
Oh my God, they tried to ban me too. I had to I sent them like 16 forms of identification. I'm like, this is who I am. I'm a real person. Because I was like using my photography work from porn. And it had like watermarks on the bottom. They're like, this is not you. Like you're using a porn star. I'm like, no, that's me. Like the names don't match because like my government's not my stage name, but like this is me. Like I had to send them like 14 emails, like trying to tell them like I am who I say I am. I'm just using a different name to protect myself. I can only use it on my desktop.
Okay.
So I'm on it, but like I don't know. There's so many flakes on Seeking Arrangements. Like I've only had one successful arrangement from Seeking Arrangements that actually like worked out. He was paying me what I wanted him to pay me. Like the rest of them were like, oh, like I'll pay you $100 like hang out with me. I'm like, don't fucking insult me. Like that's disrespect. Thank you.
I
Like
get pissed off.
That's what I want for gas money. Like that's just gas money. $100 is gas money.
Yeah.
Like don't play with me.
Just to hold a date for you. Like,
exactly to reserve my spot. Yeah.
That's just like I'm not gonna let anybody else book that date. That's what $100 will get you. That's it. Fuck off. That is so disrespectful. I get pissed off when people like fuck off. If you can't afford it, go see somebody else. Go jerk off. Like
exactly.
Don't waste my time.
Absolutely.
It's terrible. Yeah, and then I was on Grindr for a second, but I got banned from there too. But I did get few. I remember getting 2 guys who just basically paid me session rate just to send them a video, and there was another one. He was a pilot on a layover in Pittsburgh. So
what?
I already had a. It's not my first pilot, girl.
I love it. I fucking love it. I love it. I wish people would embrace this more. It's so hot.
So I did a session at my house already. And, I got done, and then I'm dressed up. It's Friday night. Let me go out. So I'm going to go to a sex club, to a body shop, have fun. And when I go there looking like a hooker. Like, I'm in a thong, fishnets, bra, thigh-high boots. That's it. Okay. And then this guy starts hitting me up on Grindr, and then he checked out my website and did everything, sent me all the information I asked for, sent me a deposit. I'm like, well, I guess I'm doubling out tonight, guys. So I had to pee when I was leaving the club, but I had a feeling like I should probably hold it.
Yeah.
Because I'll need it later.
Yeah.
And then he was staying somewhere, I thought he was in Robinson Township, like maybe 20, 30 minutes from the club. And I see that hotel, but it was weird to get to it. I couldn't find a driveway, and I have to fucking piss. So I finally find it. It's behind Pep Boys. Like, how the fuck would you know? And I'm waiting outside for like 20 minutes, like, bitch, where are you? I can't get in. I'm out here looking like a fucking hooker, and there are people in the lobby. Come and get me. I can't get in without a key. Come to find out, he gave me a wrong hotel. He was actually at the one by the airport. So I finally met up with him. Oh, girl, he got it real rough for like 15 minutes, and I left. And then he was like, well, will you
payback for making me wait.
He was like upset. Not upset, he loved it, but he wanted me to stay all night. And then he was
Of
like,
course.
well, at least stay an hour. I paid you
But
for an hour.
they never want to pay you to for you to stay overnight, but they want you
Yeah,
to
we
stay
did
overnight.
discuss
Like, are you gonna pay my overnight rate? No? All right, then I'm leaving.
But sometimes I have those. Like, I just had this one. My God, the other 2 pro doms told me about her. I'm not going to say name. If she contacts you and she looks like Ursula. And I'm like, no, I haven't had her yet. But the girl I raped her wallet. She was my favorite. I don't give a fuck. She gave me $1,000 to take her to. We were going to do a session at my place, but you know how some obese people smell bad?
Mm.
Yeah, and she was one of those, and she can't reach it back there to clean herself. And I was like, how about we do this session in a bathhouse?
Oh no!
So I could just like
horror
pay,
stories.
Like, yeah. So what? I'm not gonna clean my dungeon up and try to get that stench out of there, girl. I took her to a bathhouse. I paid like $40 for us to get in. Let them deal with that shit. And then I have the. Oh, it's funny. I actually have this with me. The industry standard.
Oh, stop it! That's my favorite thing to
Yes!
use ever. Hitachi
So-
for life.
When I want to get them off real fast, and when they're done, they're done.
Yep.
So I did a sissy makeover. We took some photos, took her around, showed her around. So 4 hours later, like 3.5 hours later, I put this on a hummingbird, and this gets them off so quick. And she's like, well, I'm done. And I'm like, change. You can change and leave, bitch. You don't get change. Bye. But it was funny. Like, all right, that was an easy one. And people were like, really? You took her in for a session? I'm like, she was fine, girl. I wasn't upset.
Well, Amy, I so much appreciate your stories. You are a great person, and I would love to literally keep talking,
Yep.
but we are running out of time for this podcast. So thank you so much for joining us today. And
Well, thank you for having me over.
absolutely. No problem. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. So I will see you on the next one.